Uh, this was actually a chess study posted by Britange 29. It is his Lichess handle name on lichess.org, and I found this study very interesting. He gave his study the name that the knight is a very complex piece actually, and he defined the usage of knight by dating wise. For example, in front we have first position, and we can see just it is a very simple move, that knight to h6 and checkmate. And this is at 1000 to 1200 rating level. The second position, if we look at this, it is very simple. If you remember that mate, Arabian mate, now as the queen is being spotted by this bishop and this knight over here, do you remember the mate? Yes. Queen check, after rook takes, knight to f7, checkmate. And this is what is on 1200 to 1600 rating level. Let's come to our next example, the advanced one. And this example is from 1600 to 2000 rating. Now here we have to do the calculation. As this queen and two rooks are eyeing this black king over here, but at present his pawn, these two pawns are protecting. If we just take this queen, the problem is that after pawn takes and rook takes, the black king has this escape square to over here. So we have to do a little bit of calculation in this position. How we can use to pin this pawn? We can pin this pawn by this bishop over here. And if this bishop is on e5, but this knight is in the way, and this is how you are going to use this knight in this position. So the move was knight check, pawn takes, and now bishop e5. You have pinned this pawn. Now the king has moved out of the pin, but he can't escape. Queen into pawn check, pawn into pawn, and rook into pawn, checkmate. And this is the level of using the knight in a tactical shot at 1600 to 2000 rating. So we move next to our very advanced example. There are many winning ways, but the tactical shot is always the best one. There is some pressure on the black king, but you can use these both knights to reach this king. But I would say that not these two knights only. You are going to use this bishop, this rook, and this pawn also to reach this king. Now I want you people to pause the video and think that how you can do it. Now remember the defenses of black. This black's pawn is being protected by this bishop, and this bishop is also protecting this square. This pawn is being protected by this pawn over here. The point of all this variation or exercise would be that you want to relocate this bishop of the protection of this pawn. When this pawn would not be protected and your knight gives the check over here, and black rook takes, you gives another check, you pick up the queen. But at present, this bishop is being protected. How to dislocate this bishop from his post? And the best move is pawn to f5. Pawn into pawn. Now this pawn is not being protected, but this bishop is still protecting this pawn. How to dislodge this bishop? Rook into pawn. The bishop has to take this rook. Otherwise, this knight check was coming, this queen into knight check was coming, and there was a win. Now, this pawn is not protected. It is just protected once. So, you give the check. King moves here. You pick up the queen. So, I hope you enjoyed the study of Britannia 29 by Lichess, his handle name on lichess.org. I am going to give the link in the description also. You may check it physically over there. If you like my video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much.